the ANC staff members are fed up with the ruling party's endless financial woes. Earlier, we saw pickets at various offices across the country with staff members demanding fair labour practices. Our reporter, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, was at Luthuli House, the ANC's headquarters here in Johannesburg, and he's joining us now live in the studio here on the Midday View. Good afternoon, Pule. Welcome to the studio. Now that that picket has ended, what's the next move to be taken by the disgruntled ANC staffers? What did they tell you?
Well, a very good afternoon, Britain. And the next move that we know as anticipated right now is for the ANC's top six to actually now have a meeting with the disgruntled staff members. But of course, those who will be representing the staffers is the SRC, which is the Staffer Representative Committee, under the leadership of Mandla Kwane and the other guys who will be talking to the leaders as to what can be the next step forward and how can this matter be resolved amicably.
And has we understand there's the whole issue about crowdfunding, for example. The party's been talking about that. Is that going to alleviate their financial strains, I wonder?
Well, the party says they've been receiving positive feedback from the public. They claim to be receiving also, large sums of, finances, or rather funding that could actually help them. We do know that they were impacted by the Party Funding Act, which actually now has them to actually disclose who's funding them. But they're quite confident that with the crowdfunding, they can make possible way forward to actually assist their staffers. We spoke to NEC member Luthuli House, and this is what he had to say.
So far, the crowdfunding is doing well, but it's going to be important, we must say it. Before, we used to be donor dependent, but with the coming to stage of the Political Party Funding Act, which limits donations to 100,000, anything above 100,000 needs to be declared. There's a donor fatigue and donor hysteria, and donors are no longer willing to come to the party. So that's why as the African National Congress, very soon we will be approaching Parliament to get the regulations of the Political Party Funding Act being amended so that we can allow our democracy to be funded from the national fiscus, not only for the ANC but for all political parties, because it has become very clear that to fund our democracy in this country, it's becoming more expensive and expensive every day. So the sooner and the better for us to avoid any perception of corruption or state of capture, that we allow a taxpayer to pay for our democracy and fund it, so that we are clear in our consciousness and conscience that there's no possibility of any corruption or any state of capture from any of the political parties, in particular for us as the ANC.
Now, Pule, you said the ANC's top six, that's the leadership, are set to meet with representatives of the disgruntled ANC staffers. What would happen if the meeting tomorrow does not produce results that satisfy the ANC staff members? Well,
I mean, let's be quite fair. This has been going on for like the past 3 months right now, with the leadership saying, we will, but they're not resolving the issue. And the staffers are saying they're giving them 7 days now to actually come on board and actually give them something on paper and writing to commit themselves and say, we will resolve this issue. Because what we do know is that in the results where the party isn't paying their salaries or provident fund, it's affecting their livelihoods. So this is a problem that has to be resolved quickly, and it may also impact the party in terms of the upcoming local government elections, when needing that kind of manpower to actually process whatever it is that they require.
Yeah, unless things can become even messier for the governing party with those elections, local government elections coming up. So the sooner they resolve this, the better. Thank you very much. Pule Letshwiti-Jones with that latest update. Still